Find the nth term of the sequence whose several terms are given. So I know that a sub n is going to be something in terms of n. So as I look up here, I notice that all of these are fractions, but this one's not. So I'm going to turn this one into a fraction. Now I'm going to look for a pattern. That's the main thing with these problems. You have to look for patterns. Well, I can't see any patterns with the actual numbers, so I'm going to look and see if I can find any patterns on the top and any patterns on the bottom. So we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And I see that those are all the odd numbers. Well, even numbers are actually pretty easy, mainly because if I take any number and I multiply it by 2, that'll give me an even number. For example, 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and then 6, and then 8. So that gives me my even numbers, but I want the odd numbers. So if I plug a 1 into here, because it's my first term, I'll get 2, but I want 1. If I plug in 2, I get 4, I want 3. 6, I want 5. If you notice, every time I say a number, I want the one less than that. So what I'm going to do is take this number and subtract 1. And if you notice, if I plug in 1, I'll get 2 minus 1, which is 1. Second term is going to be 2 times 2, which is 4, minus 1, which is 3. Third term is going to be 2 times 3, which is 6, minus 1, which is 5. So this is going to actually be the top of my nth term. And now I need to find the bottom. Well, if we look at the bottom, we see 1, 4, 9, 16. And these are actually really popular numbers, mainly because 4 is 2 squared, 9 is 3 squared. These are all my squareds. So if I have my first term and I square it, so if I take my term that I'm on and I square it, that should work. So 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. So there it is. That is my nth term. Now let's check. What's my first term? Well, if you notice, I replaced the n with a 1, so I need to replace these n's with 1. So I get 2 times 1 minus 1 over 1 squared. So that's going to be 2 minus 1, which is 1, over 1 squared, which is 1. So that's 1. My second term is going to be 2 times 2 minus 1 over 2 squared. So that's going to be 4 minus 1, which is 3, and 2 squared, which is 4. So that's 3/4. So it looks like we're doing pretty good. Let's do one more just in case. A cubed is going to be 2 times 3 minus 1 over 3 squared. So 2 times 3 is 6, minus 1 is 5. 3 squared is 9. So I have 5/9, which is my third term. So it looks like we're looking pretty good.